The final of the men's lightweight fours. Surprisingly, somewhat disappointingly, without a Danish crew, Germany and Italy failing to make the final.
A good clean start there, and this is going to be a fantastic contest, and you could really see the Chinese there in the middle lifting that boat off. They have been, for me, one of the crews of this championship, and I'm really looking forward to see how they rise to the challenge of this A final.
Yeah, we're familiar with the exploits of the women's division of the Chinese rowing squad, but as far as we can tell, no Chinese men's crew has medalled in an Olympic category boat, and they've got every chance based on the evidence of what we've seen this week. But once again, there's lane one. There are the Irish doing what they have to do, go out quick.
Yeah, the Irish go out quick and the British go out quick too. In fact, the British problem is trying to maintain their pace in the second 500 metres. But, you know, the standard of this with the French, who have been superb, I think, throughout the season, technically very, very precise. So this race is really just a box of treats.
Absolutely, and the French finding their rhythm there in lane 3. Fabien Tillier, then Jean-Christophe Bette, Jeremy Pouge and Franck Solferossi. And remember, these men, 3 of them were gold medalists back in 2004 in the lightweight 8 in that year. But Jean-Christophe Bette, actually an Olympic champion with the French 4 in that year in Athens.
Yeah, there's pedigree all through this boat. And I tell you, the Irish still out in front. I mean, they've got an interesting background now. Their coach, Harold Yarling from Australia, and then before from the GDR. And this is the Irish top boat, and they're really expecting to medal in this event.
He's a bit of a toughie, isn't he, Harold Yarling?
He is. He told them no thongs when they came down to the landing stage on the first day, and they thought he meant their underwear. In fact, he meant their flip-flops.
But they've got the edge here, and we have seen 1 or 2 medals coming out of lane 1. We've seen them in the last 2 races in the lightweight women's double and the lightweight men's double, so it is possible. Yeah,
it definitely is possible, and I think they've got the character to do it. Richard Archibald in the 3 seat, just one behind the stroke man from Coleraine in Northern Ireland, absolutely tough as nails competitor. And, you know, they've laid down a marker because everyone's worried about this Chinese crew.
Well, they have to take note of them. They've been very, very speedy, and at the moment it's China with France just immediately to their right, then Great Britain, and here are Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's hurting, doesn't he, Paul Griffin, the stroke man of the Irish boat. I wonder if that Chinese pressure, well, yeah, the Chinese have just gone through, you know, the 2-man there, Wu Chongqui, he's looking across, and this lad, he's not experienced, he's 17 years old. I mean, where do they find these youngsters from? Because the guy would be doing well if he was in a junior world championships, but to be leading an event of this stature at his age, that's sensational.
Yeah, well, as we've emphasised, right across their Olympic sports, they have a huge population and a huge reservoir of talent to call upon. But they are very good at eking out the talent. And indeed, of course, the other big factor is this celebrity competition which they're starting to find the coxswain of the Chinese men's 8.
Yeah, it's great. You know, various countries. They had one in East Germany a while ago to try and get boys to row, and they're doing it in China. It's a fantastic idea, great competition to give publicity to the sport in China. But you know, I do like Tuan Jun, the stroke of the Chinese crew. He's very unflappable. He does look across and he does check just to see what's going on, but he's really focused, really relaxed, and he leads his crew ever so well.
I'll tell you what, you look at those 4 faces, and do these 4 men want it? We've still got half the race to go, but they are aggressive.
Yeah, they are, and we've seen this with the women. I mean, they're absolutely vibrant in the way they row, and it's interesting with Igor Grinko, the former Soviet Union coach who now works with the men's program in China. He instills this sort of a lift-off kind of dynamic push at the front end, and you can see that as a hallmark with all these Chinese crews.
And Harold Yarling, the Irish crew, he'll have told them don't come back with nothing.
Absolutely, yeah, they'll be afraid of that. He's got an interesting program because he doesn't make them row all the time. Before their training camp in St. Moritz, they had some walking and some climbing and some cycling, so he's got a varied training program. But at the moment, the Irish are ahead of the French, and that's a surprise because the French are the form crew. They've got a lot to do as well.
But there's only 500 metres to go, and I have to say the Canadians have not got into this, the British have not got into this, the Australians are out of this. This is all China at the moment, Ireland and France. It's those 3 nations which are now vying for the medals, and China, well, this is astonishingly good. Their second quarter 1:28.50, their third quarter 1:28.79, and in both cases quicker than anybody on this regatta course.
Yeah, you know, David, I've been talking to the coaches this week at the Worlds and you know, saying who's the outstanding crew, what do you think? And two or three of them have said Chinese lightweight men's floor, and they're delivering on that outstanding promise today.
Good to see the Irish fans standing on the back there, and still Tianjun keeps an eye on the Irish there. He doesn't want to let this go as they come in front of the main enclosures now, and they are closing down on them just a little bit now. France are beginning to fly as well in this final 200 meters to the line, and the French are coming up on the Irish. The Chinese can feel the heat coming towards them, but China it is. They've led pretty well all the way since the beginning of the second quarter, and surely they're not going to let this go. Past the big screen, now it's the big 10 strokes towards the line. Ireland are pulling it out, France are going at them. What a fantastic finish here, and it is the Chinese, the men's crew. This is a piece of history now, because Chinese men have got a gold medal and they've done it. Whoa! And that's France and Ireland in the photo. Maybe just for me, the French. Well, this is so impressive. Look at France just getting the better of Ireland right on the top of the picture there in the last stroke, and it is a day of history for the Chinese men's squad. 5:49.43. That's a very decent time.
And you can see their delight. They're one of the crews of the championships. They've improved on a fairly mediocre season. Fantastic performance.